Edrinna Marie. Real talk, real stories with Edrinna Marie.
Hey guys, this is your girl Edrinna Marie. Real talk, real stories. We're back in the building with my homegirl Kim Dankoor. And we are actually just going to go over our roundtable discussion that we talked about a couple of weeks ago. And Kim is doing some great research and development on some things that she's doing here in Atlanta, guys. So let's tune in now so that we can hear our great information on what Kim is bringing to the table for our community. So, guys, let's welcome Kim Dankoor to the building.
Hey.
Hey, Kim.
Hey.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. And we want to talk a little bit more about your PhD. And I know you're working on that. And how does that fit for your research and development of what you're doing here in Atlanta right now?
Yeah, it sometimes feels like the never-ending story, right? The PhD journey. I'm like, oh, I'm still here, still explaining that I'm still on the journey. But it's also exciting because my PhD actually consists of 4 different studies.
Okay.
So for the first study, I actually investigated how black men in Amsterdam, young black men in Amsterdam and young black men in Atlanta actually interpret the images of masculinity in commercial rap music videos.
You better say that. Okay, girl, say that again for our audience.
Of course. So how young black men in Amsterdam and in Atlanta interpret the images of masculinity in commercial rap music videos. And how it relates to their self-evaluation. Yeah, I was expecting that there would be more differences. Of course, they are both black men, young black men, but still they grew up in different environments, right? Like Europe and the United States. But there were like a lot of similarities. And I think it's also interesting that a lot of media has an opinion about what rap music can do with youth people or with young people. But not a lot of scholars actually talk to young people, right? Like, okay, how do you see those images and how do you feel about them? So I thought it was very important to do so.
Because it's really stereotyped.
Exactly. Yeah. And I wanted to see how they actually negotiate those images. So I talked to young men who said, like, okay, I can see wealthy black men in those videos, and that doesn't necessarily mean that I have to go out of my way to become wealthy as well. Like, for instance, drug dealing or whatever. It just inspires me to do great things in my field. For instance, become a lawyer or entrepreneur or an artist, and also be able to become wealthy. And of course you can say, okay, is that really the message that we want to give our young people? Like, oh my God, you have to be rich. But on the other side, you can also think if it actually motivates young men to be great in the field that they want to be great in. And of course there were also some conversations that I thought, okay, we have to do something with media literacy, because the same young men, and not all, right? There were a few young men who also said, okay, if I see those rappers with beautiful women, it's kind of tempting to also look for more girlfriends, right? Yeah, like, oh my God, maybe I should also have more than one girlfriend. But the thing is, they were also critical about their own opinion. So they said, like, okay, maybe I should have more girlfriends, but I do want to be married and have like one wife when I'm like 30 or older. So I think that's also interesting, you know.
Let me get it out my system.
Yes,
I'm in my
and then
20s.
when I'm old, I want to get married, you know, and just have one wife. But I think it's good from a scholarly standpoint to actually have those conversations with young men. So now it's not like an assumption when I say rap music can mean this to young black men. I can actually say I talked to a few of them and this is what they told me.
Right.
Yeah, so for the second study, I actually interviewed African American college students in Atlanta to also explore how the images of masculinity and femininity relates to their self-evaluations. So with the men, I talked about the same stuff like materialism and relationships and sex. And with the women, I also talked about that stuff, but also about the beauty ideals, because you see a lot of thick hourglass women in music videos, you know, and a lot of rap artists shout out thick women like thickety thick. And I wanted to know how thickety thick, how young black women actually felt about that, right? Does it maybe has consequences for their self-esteem, or does it inspire them as well? And I found both. Like, I talked to young black women who said, okay, it's kind of inspiring because it makes me want to go to the gym. But on the other side, they also felt like, ooh, it's a really problematic beauty ideal for black women because it's hard to attain.
Is it like on the women's side?
Yeah.
Was it more like they are, when you ask them these particular questions about the beauty, that they was trying to be an image of something else? Or they were trying to create their own image of beauty. Because sometimes when
Yeah.
you look at the girls in the videos
Yeah.
or on videos, period,
Mm-hmm.
and they are like this particular size and color or hair texture and all that. What did you get from them on them type of point of views?
Yeah, both positive and negative responses. Like the negative responses were more so that they felt that beauty ideal was expected from them, so they
Like
felt
they had to keep
"Ooh,
up."
yeah, I have to keep
Yeah.
up. But on the other side, they also felt like, okay, I'm beautiful the way I am.
Right.
I'm maybe gonna go to the gym because I see that the thick hourglass ideal is beautiful, so it
better work on
inspires me.
cellulites.
Right? Yeah, do some extra
You've
squats
been
in the
eating a
gym.
little bit too much steak filet mignon. Okay.
So it can go both sides, but still, again, as I said before, I really wanted to talk to those young women myself, instead of assuming this is what it means.
Right, and
you
you
know
wanted to get a personal relationship with that.
Yeah,
Especially when
definitely.
you're studying this for your PhD.
Yeah.
Have this study ever been done before?
Ooh, that's a great question. When it comes to my second paper, I don't think so, because especially when you think about beauty ideals in the media, like most scholars only are fixated on the thin ideal, because in other popular culture you mostly see thin women, right? And in
Right.
rap music you see thick hourglass women.
Right.
So I really wanted to do something with that West African beauty ideal,
I know that's right.
And other scholars
Yes.
usually focus on the European ideal. So that's what I
Yes.
wanted to do. And then for my third study, I actually interviewed black and white women from the Netherlands, because I was also
Okay.
interested in like the thick hourglass in United States commercial rap, what it does with
when you
women in the
did that,
Netherlands.
because that's a big dialogue for transparency.
Yeah.
When you did that and you opened that conversation up to
Yeah.
the ladies,
Yeah.
what were most of their opinions? Because I know that first
Yeah.
of all, from the Netherlands into the United States, it's
Yeah.
a language barrier.
Yeah.
So, how were the girls expressing in the Netherlands about it? Was it almost
It
the
was
same?
kind of the same, because
Wow.
although there's like a language barrier, they still see the images, they
Yes.
still know how to
Okay.
speak English, and they can understand English. So when a rapper say, "Ooh, I want a thick, thick, thick girl," or Ice Spice says, "Ooh, I'm thick because I be eating oats," they understand that, right? And the black girls that I interviewed are from Surinamese descent, and I am Surinamese as well.
Oh, wow.
And sometimes in our culture, thickness is also being celebrated, right?
Yes.
So that's like a mutual beauty ideal, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So I also noticed that some young black women in the Netherlands also felt pressure to be like thick, because it's considered beautiful in rap music
Wow.
videos and in Surinamese cultures.
That is so
Yeah.
funny.
Yeah, it's
because you would think it would be the
interesting.
opposite,
No, because they're still black, They maybe live in Europe, but they're still black, and they still have like Surinamese descent, and
Okay.
you have like cultural body ideals, right?
Right.
The difference that I found though is that the white young women may appreciate thickness as well, but they didn't experience the same pressures, and that kind of makes sense. They were like, okay, I also love thick bodies. I understand that beauty ideal in rap, but I don't think people expect me to be thick because I'm
Right.
white. So that was really
Right.
interesting.
And they
Yeah.
actually was able to express that.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, they were like
cool.
between 18 and 25 year old.
Okay.
So I could have like a good conversation with them. And again, my research is qualitative, so I really need to go in depth, so I could really report on that as well.
Right.
And for my fourth paper that we discussed the last
Okay.
time, I interviewed strip club dancers from Atlanta to actually ask them how they are actually gatekeeping commercial rap music videos.
Wow.
Yeah.
And how did most of these from each research?
Yeah.
How did the women and the men react to it? Were they
Yeah.
open to have those open discussions? Because
Yes,
that
they
is
really were.
it's kind of sticky, icky a little bit.
Yeah.
Because some people might want to talk about it and open
Yeah.
it up, and some people might not want to. But
Yeah.
you're looking at it on a scale of research and development.
Mm-hmm.
Because we all have this look about different races, different cultures across the world, that we're never really celebrated like that about our own opinions of what we actually did research on. Like the women and men are just like you and me.
Yeah.
And
Definitely.
they working citizens, and they have a lot to say, but they really don't really feel comfortable with some of the topics?
Yeah, I think they really appreciated it. I
Okay.
think it kind of helps that I'm black as well and that I
No,
love
that's
rap
right.
music, So I think it was more so like we called it like an insider status within academia. Like I'm kind of part of the culture as well. So
Right.
they didn't feel awkward talking with me about, relationships and sex and
Right.
beauty ideals. And the young men were very open as well, I was
Wow,
like, okay.
that's different.
And I also felt for some of them it was, I don't want to say therapeutic, but I noticed that they were like, okay, I never thought about it that way.
That
So it
way.
was nice for them to actually talk about it. And the strip club dancers were amazing as well. They were like, get your
Wow.
PhD, sis. Of course I'm going to help you. So that
I
was
know that's
so
right.
dope. That was so
we
dope.
must be the change, okay?
Yeah, that was so
And it's going to
dope.
take all of us. And I'm so happy that you are here with us in Atlanta right now for a little bit. And I noticed that you had to teach a couple of classes at the colleges up here. So you want to express a little bit about that? What you
Yes, of
talked about with
course.
that?
Yeah. If I could first maybe just mention that to me it was really important to do this in Atlanta and also in other southern regions, because I noticed that in the Netherlands and maybe sometimes also in the United States, when people think of rap music, they tend to think in LA West Coast and New York
Right.
East Coast. And southern US rap is such a beautiful culture. I really
really
wanted
is.
to shed a light on that as well,
better
you know?
Say that, you hear me? Because Atlanta, people been sleeping on us.
And
Okay,
I don't know why.
because they can't come in here and do what they want to do to us.
Oh.
Okay, we are a strong niche community, and no matter what side of town we come from, we're standing strong for the Atlantic.
Yeah.
Okay, and with that being said, you can't buy your way into this. You have to really be boots on the ground, and our people have to see you. So you really came into Atlanta, Kim, and I really admire you about that. And you got right in the rural area.
Yeah, I did.
And she said, I'm here, guys. Let's
I
go.
did, yeah.
So I was very proud of you about that, because it takes a lot of guts to come to the West Side and actually be that change. And you have been into some of the universities too as well. Clark Atlanta, Morehouse, Spelman. That's enlightening. So for you to actually go in and teach a seminar, I mean, can you share with us a little bit how they felt about when you came into teaching that?
Oh yeah, of course, yeah. So the first time when I actually did something at a university was Georgia State University.
Okay, Georgia State.
Yes, I was part of the Africana Studies department. And I'm so
Yes.
thankful for that as well. Like they welcomed me with open arms. I did my
Righteous.
research there. I was able to talk to the students. I gave a lecture, and I think they were very welcoming. I think it was kind of a surprise to them as well that somebody from Europe was so interested in Southern, rap culture, right?
You have a really comfortable spirit that people can really just get relaxed with you.
Thank
And it's not a language barrier. It's not a language barrier, but it is actually a little sexy. Your voice, your I mean, I think I'm probably sounding sexy right now just with a deeper voice, Hey, how you doing? But I mean, it's appealing, so you gotta have attraction here. And I think we have been attracted to your boots on the ground, and I love seeing that. So tell the people how they can help support you and where they can shout out you, like give a shout out.
Yeah. Oh,
To
damn.
you, look you up. So guys, follow my girl.
Yeah, yes, please. No, I do want to move to Atlanta,
Okay.
so I don't want to pressure people to hire me for certain stuff. But if you can
Don't
use like
make
a
us run up on
lecturer, an interviewer, a teacher, holler at me so I can actually, make the move to Atlanta.
Yes, 'cause we want her here, guys. It's gonna take all of us.
Yes, the community, that's
Yes.
right. And of course, what you said before, I think is also really important to give back. And hopefully people also notice that I'm not trying to just take from the culture. And,
Right.
I think it's important if I actually teach about the culture, I make money in certain aspects of U.S. culture, rap music culture.
Yes.
I also need to give back, right? So
Right.
that's why it's important to be on the ground
Wait, hold on,
and
guys.
do
Don't
stuff.
get it twisted. Kim has been giving back. Okay, my sister, we actually started this thing together. She went and when she came here in Atlanta, I was doing some stuff too, and I was like, Kim, I'm going to start my own radio. And she was like, what? And I was like, what? You know, so we did a little clip with Doc B Cares over here at the John Holmes Recreational Center. And that the kids were very interesting. Kim got to interview one of the children that was wanting to be a rapper, I think he was. And it was so enlightening, and he was so positive. So to me, when we took those first initial steps, meant more to me than money. It was like, you heard me. And he was like, and I said, I see you. And I didn't have to see you to hear you, but you heard me. And it was like a cry for action in some type of way, like, because I know I can't do this by myself. It's going to take a phenomenal team like you all, and you guys have been really great to me, and I'm just very thankful, and I thank God for allowing us to actually be able to express this authenticness of ourselves and bring this new perspective, because you definitely gave me a more like a homie and a sister love. So I know what the other interviewers and other people you interview, I know how they feel. Okay, so I mean, I will be excited to interview you anytime, any day, but I'm happy that you're here with us. So please continue to let them know where they can find you. And we're going to wrap this thing up. Guys, this is your girl, Edrinna Marie, Real Talk, Real Stories. Excuse my voice, but I've been rolling since the last set, and it's going down. We got music dropping. Enough is enough. It'll be out soon in stores. Okay? You guys check my album out. I worked very hard on it.
Beautiful
Shout
album.
out to Mr. G and Jonathan and all the engineers, Noah, AK, Chris, Ali. It's a couple of other people that helped us with all of this. I mean, and if I miss your name, my children, my mom, don't charge it to my head and not my heart, okay? So Kim's going to give us a shout out going out, and we're going to wrap this thing up, guys. Your girl, Edrinna Marie.
I just want to say I love you, and I'm so proud of you because you almost made me cry when you gave me my flowers. So I also want to give you your flowers.
I'm crying
and I'm so
now.
thankful that I met you 5 years ago, and you're such a beautiful spirit, and
Thank
I learned
you.
so much from you. And it's
Thank you.
so beautiful to see how two black women from different countries can actually have this bond, right?
I'm trying to tell you, that's my sister. Don't play with it.
It's so interesting. But a shout out, Instagram, Realist Reporter KD, Realist _Reporter _KD, website www.kimbykim.com. And if you just Google Kim Dankoor, you will also see my interviews
And baby, that's a sexy name.
studies and
Kim Dankoor.
Kim Dankoor.
Dankoor, okay?
Say my name.
Say my name. Okay, guys, we're out of here. This is your girl, Edrinna Marie, Real Talk, Real Stories. Stay tuned, guys. We got a couple of good episodes coming up. And we're going to be dropping some hot topics. You guys tune in. I love you. Have a great week. And we're out of here. Hey, guys, if you like what you've seen, like, share, and subscribe. This is your girl, Edrinna Marie. Real Talk, Real Stories. I'll see you next week.
Real talk, real stories with Edrinna Marie. Real talk, real stories with Edrinna Marie. Real talk, real stories with Edrinna Marie.